My stepson walked in while I was doing something I shouldn't, a true infidelity story. He wasn't supposed to be home. I wasn't supposed to feel anything. But when our eyes locked, something snapped. That moment was wrong in every way, yet I can't stop reliving it. I used to believe marriage was supposed to feel safe. Predictable, maybe, but not empty. For the past 3 years, Josh has been more of a shadow than a husband. He works late, travels often, and even when he's home, he's somewhere else. We talk, but only in passing, like roommates trading reminders instead of love. I started to lose track of who I was. I went from being a woman with dreams to a wife who just waits. Waits for texts, waits for eye contact, waits for something to feel real. Lately, our cabin in the woods has become more of a retreat for him than for us. "You need a break," he said last week, and then he left for another business trip. So here I am, alone, again. Well, almost alone. Josh's son, Logan, is here too. He's supposed to be out of the way. But I've started to realize, Logan sees everything. Logan wasn't supposed to stay long. Just a temporary arrangement while he sorted out his next move after dropping out of college. Josh insisted it would be fine, he keeps to himself. He said, and he does, mostly. But over the past few weeks, I've noticed things, small things, the way Logan lingers in the kitchen after dinner, quietly helping with dishes even when I don't ask. The way he listens, not just nods, but really listens, when I talk about my day. Sometimes I catch him watching me, not in a disrespectful way, more like he's trying to understand something I've forgotten about myself. It's unnerving, comforting, dangerous. There's a gentleness in him I didn't expect, an attentiveness that feels rare. He notices when I change my hair. He compliments my cooking in ways Josh hasn't in years. I try to keep things polite, distant. I remind myself I'm his stepmother, not some lonely woman looking to be seen. But truthfully, I feel more seen around Logan than I have in a long time. And sometimes, late at night, when the house is still and I can't sleep, I find myself wondering if he feels it too. That afternoon felt like any other. The sky was gray, the air thick with late summer heat. Josh had texted earlier, some flight delay, some meeting. He wouldn't be home until the weekend. The cabin was quiet, too quiet. I decided to take some time for myself, light a candle, curl up in bed. Maybe watch something I wouldn't admit to enjoying. Logan had gone into town to meet friends. At least, that's what he'd told me. So I shut my bedroom door. Or thought I had. I propped my laptop on a pillow and let myself sink into something indulgent. Something private, something I hadn't done in months. And then, the door creaked. I froze. Before I could react, Logan was standing there, eyes wide, hands at his sides, and then, stillness. His gaze dropped to what was in my lap, then shot back to my face. The air between us turned electric. I scrambled to close the screen, to cover myself, to say something, anything. But I couldn't. My body wouldn't move. I'm sorry, he stammered. I didn't know you were. It's fine, I said too quickly. My voice didn't sound like mine. He didn't leave right away. He just looked at me. And in that look, curiosity, confusion, and something darker. Something I recognized. After he closed the door, I sat frozen in place, heartbeat pounding in my ears. My cheeks burned, my hands trembled. I wanted to bury myself in the blankets and disappear. But all I could see, over and over, was the look in his eyes. Not just shock, not just embarrassment. There was something else, something that lingered, something that saw me. The rest of the day passed in awkward silence. We didn't cross paths. I stayed in my room, pretending to read, pretending to breathe normally. By evening, a storm rolled in, thick clouds, distant thunder. The lights flickered once, then went out completely. I lit a few candles and stepped into the hallway, wrapped in my robe, heart still unsettled. "Melissa?" Logan's voice came from the kitchen. "Are you okay?" "I'm fine," I called back, though my voice cracked. I turned the corner and nearly collided with him. Our bodies brushed, my shoulder to his chest. We both froze. "Sorry," he said softly, steadying me with his hands. His fingers rested lightly at my waist. Just enough to keep me balanced. Not enough to pull away. Our eyes met. And in that flickering candlelight, we weren't stepmother and stepson. We weren't anything defined. "You don't have to look at me like that," I whispered. He didn't answer. He just leaned in, slowly, like giving me time to stop him. Time I didn't use. His lips brushed mine, barely, a whisper of a kiss. I should have stepped back. I didn't. Instead, I let my hand rest on his chest. I felt the thud of his heart beneath my palm. Fast and uncertain, just like mine. When we pulled apart, I couldn't meet his eyes. "I'm sorry," I said. "I'm not," he replied. And just like that, the line between us cracked. The air hung heavy between us after that kiss, charged. Trembling, uncertain, I turned away, murmured something about the power, and lit another candle. Logan didn't follow at first. I heard his breath catch. Then steady. 10 minutes later, I was in the living room, curled up under a throw blanket, candlelight dancing across the walls. I told myself I was just waiting for the lights to come back on. Just passing time. Then I heard his footsteps. Slow, measured. He didn't say a word as he entered the room. Just sat down at the far end of the couch. The silence stretched. "I shouldn't have," I started. "You didn't do anything," he interrupted gently. "I kissed you." That made it worse somehow. Or maybe better. I wasn't sure. "I've felt this for a while," he continued, voice low. "I just didn't know what to do with it." I closed my eyes. I should have told him to stop, to leave, to forget, but instead, I said nothing. He moved closer, not a leap, just an inch. Then another. I felt the heat of his body before I felt his hand on mine. His touch was light, like he was testing the weight of permission. I didn't pull away. His fingers slid gently up my arm. My breath hitched. My heart raced. He leaned in again. This time, the kiss was fuller, slower, and I let it happen. There was no rush, just warmth, breath, softness. His hand found my waist, the other brushing my hair back behind my ear. He kissed the corner of my mouth, then my cheek. Every nerve in my body lit up, not in panic, not in fear, but in something I hadn't felt in so long, want. For a moment, I forgot about titles, I forgot about roles, I forgot that I was supposed to be above this. All I felt was his breath on my skin, the way my name sounded in his voice. "Melissa," he whispered, "you don't have to be alone." I knew what we were doing was wrong. But in that moment, warm, aching, needed, I didn't want to be right. I woke before the sun. The room was quiet, but my mind was anything but. I lay still, staring at the ceiling, trying to piece together the night before, every breath, every touch, every moment I should have stopped. The warmth from Logan's body had long faded from the couch. I didn't know when he left, only that I was alone again. I wrapped the blanket tighter around me, as if it could shield me from the weight sitting on my chest. What had I done? The thought looped endlessly. This wasn't just a bad decision. It was a line crossed. A role betrayed. I was supposed to protect him, not confuse him. I tiptoed into the kitchen, half hoping he wouldn't be there. He wasn't, just silence. The air felt thick, like the house itself knew what we'd done. I poured coffee I didn't drink, washed dishes that weren't dirty. When Logan finally came downstairs, he didn't look at me right away. He muttered, "Morning," then grabbed a glass of water. We stood in the same space, but 1,000 miles apart. "I'm sorry," I said, not even sure what I meant. He paused, finally meeting my eyes. "Don't be," he said, "unless you didn't feel it too." That made it worse, because I did. And I still do. The hardest part wasn't what happened. It was how much I wanted it to happen again. I kept telling myself it was a mistake. A lapse. A one-time thing born from loneliness and flickering candlelight. But the truth was harder to swallow. I didn't regret it. I should have felt ashamed, and I did, but beneath the shame was something else. Something electric. Something alive. When was the last time someone looked at me like that? Not out of obligation, not because they were supposed to, but because they wanted to. I sat at the kitchen table the next night, staring at my reflection in a cold cup of tea. Who was this woman? A wife? A mother figure? A stranger? I tried to imagine telling Josh. The look on his face. The betrayal in his eyes. But he hadn't looked at me in years. Not really. And Logan? He didn't avoid me now. He didn't force it either. He simply existed near me, with soft glances and quieter footsteps. Like he knew I needed space, but also like he was waiting. I wanted to be stronger. But I kept remembering his voice. The way he whispered my name. The way he made me feel real, seen, wanted. And that terrified me more than the guilt ever could. The knock at the door wasn't loud, just firm enough to freeze the breath in my chest. I wasn't expecting anyone. Josh was still overseas. Logan was upstairs. When I opened it, Olivia was standing there, her eyes sharp, her posture rigid. She was Logan's ex, sweet-faced, polite, until she wasn't. "I need to talk to you," she said flatly, stepping inside before I could stop her. She pulled out her phone and pressed play. And then I saw it, us. On the couch, lit by candlelight, frozen in a kiss that felt like a dream, but now looked like a crime. My knees buckled. "Don't bother denying it," Olivia said. "I left a camera in Logan's bag the day we broke up. Just in case. Turns out I was right." I couldn't speak. Her voice was cold, calculated. "Here's the deal. You tell Josh, or I will." I swallowed hard, my pulse in my throat. "What do you want?" I whispered. She smiled. "Not money, not even revenge, just the truth exposed. You're not the woman everyone thinks you are." She walked out, leaving the door wide open. I stood there, trembling, exposed. Upstairs, Logan's footsteps creaked. He didn't know yet. But everything we'd done, everything we thought was private, had never been ours to keep. I haven't told Josh. Not yet. Every time I try to speak, the words fall apart in my throat. What am I even supposed to say? That I broke something sacred? That I crossed a line even I don't fully understand? I think about that night constantly. Not just the moment, but the silence after. The stillness. The feeling of being wanted, and the weight of what that cost. I look at Logan now, and I see the echo of something we'll never fully escape. His eyes still soften when they meet mine, but they carry something else now too, fear. Maybe, or knowledge. Maybe we were never supposed to be anything. Maybe we were just two broken people reaching for warmth in the cold. But here's what I keep asking myself. If no one had been watching, would I still feel like a villain? If a woman is starved long enough for love, and she finally tastes it, does that make her dangerous? Or just human? You can judge me, I won't fight it. But before you do, ask yourself honestly. What would you have done, if you were me? It's been 2 weeks. Josh came home early. He didn't say why, just walked through the door like he hadn't been gone for months. Like everything was fine. But nothing is fine. He watches me more now, as if he knows something but won't say it out loud, as if he's giving me a chance to confess, and I just keep choosing not to. Logan barely speaks to me, not because he's angry, I think it's something deeper than that. Like he doesn't know where we exist anymore. We pass each other in hallways. Close enough to touch, but we don't dare. The tension is unbearable. I sleep with the door locked now, not out of fear, out of shame, and clarity. Because no matter how much I try to rewrite the night in my mind, the truth doesn't change. I let it happen. I wanted it. And for a moment, I felt alive, seen. That part no one talks about, the part that's worse than guilt, is how easy it is to pretend something didn't happen when it made you feel good. But nothing stays hidden forever. Olivia still hasn't followed through on her threat. Maybe she's waiting, maybe she's watching, I don't know. Every time my phone buzzes, my stomach turns. Every time Josh looks at me for a second too long, my heart races. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if we had been caught that night. If the lights hadn't come back on. Would we have stopped? Would we have gone further? Would it have mattered? I still don't have answers. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm not even sure I want it. What I want is for someone, anyone, to tell me that what I felt wasn't completely wrong. That needing to be touched, seen, chosen, doesn't make me monstrous. But maybe it does. Maybe I am. And maybe that's the part no one confesses out loud.